To assist me in honoring our third awardee, I would like to introduce Bianca Bautista from George West Elementary School. Bianca, will you please join me on stage as we honor John Gregory, President and CEO of the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce.
Hello again. John Gregory works for the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. He helps people get loans when they want to start a business. Someday, I would love to work in a bank or own my own business. Someday, Mr. Gregory inspired me to want to open my own business someday. I would like to own a technology company. Mr. Gregory taught me that if I want to own a company, I must be able to work with many other people and businesses too. He also taught me that I need to sell my products for enough money so that I can earn money to buy more products. But I also cannot make the price too high or people will not buy my product. They will go someplace else for less money. We did an activity where we created our own businesses. We made a name for it in an advertisement. That group project inspired me to want to own my own company someday. I would like to go to college and learn about how to run my own business. Thank you.
Not so hard, right? Thank you, Bianca. John, for your demonstrated acts of excellence and commitment to the Rhode Island community and to Junior Achievement's mission of inspiring and preparing young people to succeed in a global economy, the Junior Achievement Board of Directors award you our highest honor, the Morris J.W. Gaby Profile and Excellence Award. Congratulations.
Well, Bianca, you learned your lessons well. We did have a big discussion about making money. Probably all the things that we talked about, with Bianca's group in particular, that caught their attention. Like others, I want to congratulate my fellow honorees and the past recipients of the award, many who are in this room tonight. Like others, I'm humbled and honored to be receiving this prestigious award named after a Rhode Island icon. You know, Jack was talking about how Dr. Gaby was like a magnet for students. And that's because, and many of you probably had more experiences with him than I did, but when Dr. Gaby talked to you, when I met him when I worked at the Providence Chamber of Commerce, you were the only person in the room. He was the type of person that would focus on you, wanted to know about you, so it's easy to see how people would flock to him. And I love that great story about the student crying, and it shows what type of person that he was. In fact, in his obituary, it stated that he did what he did because it was the right thing to do. What a simple yet very powerful statement. And isn't that what Junior Achievement is all about? On the webpage, Junior Achievement states that JA Rhode Island serves to inspire and prepare young people to succeed in the global economy. Isn't that the right thing to do? And when I participated in my day at George West Elementary, I was fortunate to be teamed up with Jamison Miller, and he made sure that I didn't get into too much trouble, and that it was just a fun experience, because before going into the classroom, my only experience with Junior Achievement was through a gentleman by the name of Gail Dostra, who used to be the CEO of a pharmacy company here in Rhode Island, Brooks Drugs. He happened to be the chairman of the board of the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce when I got the job. And I always remember him telling me that it was, I said, well, what's it about? He said, well, we try to help kids, have a better understanding. He said, the coolest kids are first graders. And I said, why? And he said, well, with first graders, we talk to them about want and need. He said, well, what do you mean? He said, well, we have to convince them that puppy is something that you want and not need. You know? And ironically, my wife and I have this discussion every time I talk about getting another dog. But it, certainly being in the classroom with fifth graders, it was an uplifting experience because all the things that we're talking about that we want our future workers to have took place in that room. They learned to work together as a team. They learned to have respect for their colleagues. They learned how to come to consensus. Now, Bianca's group was really, really interesting. They were probably the stars of that day, and there were some great groups because they were really getting into it when we started talking about supplies. They're building these super brick ovens so they can put the phones in them. Because, see, if you buy one of her phones, you get a lifetime guarantee. So they were testing it on. And even those that we had one group who could not get to consensus. There was no way that they could decide on what their product was going to be. But the harder they worked at it, they finally came up with the idea that, well, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to open a superstore, and we're going to sell everybody's product. You know, so at least they got to that point saying, okay, we know that we have to build a business. In reading a little bit more about JA, I was happy to hear that their strategic plan includes increasing the amount of student reach to 10% of the student population by 2021. Because I think we all know that the needs for the junior achievement programs has never been greater. We hear a lot, and working for a Chamber of Commerce or a trade organization, we hear from our members about the type of employees that they're looking for. And again, when we see the different JA programs that are taking place, you know, I would like to see it even higher, and I'm not sure how we can help you get there, obviously with our participation, but maybe with some funding resources as well, because it's everything that we talk about, you know, and it's here. So it's a jewel right under our nose that I think all of us have an obligation to make sure that we can expand. So in closing, I want to once again thank you for recognizing me for my efforts. This has been kind of tough for me to talk about this because you're recognizing me for doing what I love. You're recognizing me for a job that I get paid for. Some of the other folks that are being honored do this as volunteer work, but I get a pretty cool job, you know, and I'm very fortunate that I get a great staff that are here tonight that allow me to do the extracurricular activities, like to go in the classroom for the day. You know, I've been at the Northern Ireland Chamber of Commerce for 25 years, got a great board of directors, and I was fooling around a couple of weekends ago, and I figured that I've worked with 750 board members over my 25 years at the Chamber, and each one of them has played a major role in helping me and my organization succeed. We got some great friends in the local government, Mayor Gregory from Pawtucket here tonight, and Mayor Lombardi from North Providence. And apparently Mayor Diosa is still on his way, Kevin, but And finally, many of you may not know that in my previous life, I was also a disc jockey. So music is a big part of my life. So the last person I want to thank is my best friend and my biggest cheerleader. That's my wife, Barbara. Once again, your love keeps lifting me higher and higher. So again, thank you so much for this award. Thank you. Yeah? That was really, really cool. That was great. Congratulations. Thank you, buddy.